Welcome to Cannabis School. I'm your host, Jesse Angeles.
And I'm Brandon Elder.
And we're here to talk to you about everything pertaining to cannabis, from vape,
Flower,
edibles,
strains,
and everything in between.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really hot ass week.
You know, the term hot as balls makes no sense, but it does right now because it's like a fucking soup right here while I was driving over.
Wow, ball soup.
Ball soup, dude. It was so hot.
Yeah, I hate that in the summer.
Dude, yesterday I was driving home after I visited the dispo, and it was so hot that my car was registering like 103. And my car slightly overheated for just a second and then went back down.
It was so toasty.
So fucking hot.
It sucked. My AC didn't kick in great. It didn't get below like 77 in my home last night. And I was like, fuck, I was dying. It was
That's
horrible.
funny because that's actually what we roll around at night at my house.
You sleep in that?
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, we got used to it. That's the thing, because the house, like, it didn't get fixed or anything about. But anyways, let's go into what you're here for today.
Yeah, something green, something sticky.
Yeah, and this is provided by Dragonfly here in Utah. Now, you can find this. I don't know if you can find this. Yeah, you can find this strain.
You can find this all over.
You can, and this is a great lineage. Before I drop the name, what's the lineage, Brandon?
Oh, Gelato 33 and Zkittlez.
Ooh, and what that creates is White Runtz. This is a hybrid indica strain. The bud tender was telling me that he is a daily consumer.
Okay.
Like 4 or 5 dabs a day.
Okay. I was going to say, in our recent episode with Cannabichem, we actually learned that 90% of all the users in their study were daily consumers.
Oh, yeah.
So, but 3 to 4 dabs in a day.
And
That's
flour.
good. Okay.
And flour. So he's like you.
We should hang out.
He's a master Jedi smoker. And I'm still just a Jedi Knight.
Good day, master.
Yeah. But so what he's told me was this one hits him pretty hard. The trichomes on this, and I'm going to pull it out for a second. That's what she said. This is a kind of purpley nug. It's very cool. One of the things that's really cool, now this was harvested in February.
Ooh, okay.
Feel that. Dude, it still feels so fresh.
It's got so spongy, like it springs back.
And it's
not dry. Like the other cultivars that I've tried here or seen here, they're just like, it's dryish.
Yeah, it looks like trichomes, but when you get close, it's just dry flower.
That's really pretty, though.
It's very skunky, too.
Yeah, when you opened that and started grinding it up, the whole studio started smelling. I was like, oh, wow, that's fantastic.
I was kind of shocked. Because, and the one thing that I'm already getting from this one, this is a really slow onset.
Oh, my gosh. That smells like the trichomes on my fingers.
You know what? I was a little
fantastic.
worried. I was a little worried because they were over there going, I'm like, man.
You're like, he's sniffing his fingers.
Maybe wipe better.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's up with that.
He's really getting in there. Like,
you ever seen that with people? They'll do that. They'll like scratch their ass in public and they'll go like this.
Sniff it. Ew. Gross.
I don't know, man. Sometimes you're just like, maybe that's why dogs do it.
Maybe they're just curious.
That's good. Pasta. Good job.
This one is supposed to be really good for chronic pain, stress, anxiety. I think
it's a really slow onset. Like it's very slow.
You're still on the first hit?
I took 4.
You took 4 hits?
4 pulls, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm feeling it, but it's a slow onset. Maybe this is the part of the show where you play some Motley Crue, Start Your Heart, right? And you ever seen those funny ass videos where Vince Neil, the lead singer, he's like old and fat now, and he's like up on stage making no sense whatsoever. You know what? That's going to be in the show notes because it's hilarious because he's not making any sense.
Man, I don't know what it is. It is really slow onset, but it's a very light. Like I feel it in my face, but like in the inside of my head, it is a very light relaxation. I'm not feeling super foggy. It's limonene and linalool are the top two. Got him.
Yeah, no racing heart whatsoever. I'm coughing because I'm about mid bowl before we have to reload, and it's usually the most harsh hits are in the middle.
Yeah, towards the end, and just as it, not the first beautiful ones.
No. I'd be curious in a vaporizer. This would probably be very, very. It might even hit harder because you're getting more of the terps, and
way more bioavailability.
And then after that, like, one thing I haven't been doing in my vaporizer, and kids, you need to be doing this too. If you're sporting a Volcano or any vaporizer whatsoever, you need to be saving the greens.
Bro, you don't save yours?
I don't save them. I'm just like, fuck it. Just dump it on the carpet. I mean, not the carpet, the grass.
Outside on the grass.
Yeah, what kind of slob am I?
On your carpet.
But fuck it. No, but I really
that's why Jesse's dog's all licking the carpet and stuff.
All this activated THC. She's just always chilling, staring out the window for no reason for hours on end.
I don't know what it is, but Scout's extra happy today.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's just laying around. I hope she's okay. But it's fuck, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. Save those and get yourself some MCT oil at Costco for sure. Costco, because that's like, I mean, you get a big ass bottle of that.
I found it about the same price on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I'll bounce back and forth depending on like if I'm at Costco sometimes and I'm there, I'm like, fuck it, I'll grab it.
Either or.
Yeah, but otherwise I don't think about it, and it's not like, oh hey, I should grab this, and then I'm like, Amazon delivers it the same day or next day. Like I don't have to worry that much.
Yeah, might as well get it.
Yeah.
It's.
Did you put the grounds on top, or is this a different one?
That's the ones I put it in there.
Okay. I just didn't want to mix it, and then you're like, oh shit, we're feeling a whole nother thing.
No, what's nice is that it's a super slow onset. This is if you, sometimes I just want to blast off. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't last long. I find that.
I can imagine it would be nice.
Well, like Pineapple Express doesn't last long for me.
Okay.
30, 40 minutes.
At least with this last cultivar too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good, but it wasn't great. It's not some of the best Pineapple Express I've ever had.
But it was good.
It was good. It's better than a Disty, but it's really...
Was it flower or concentrate?
Flower.
Okay.
I've been on a big flower. I've been doing some carts.
Yeah.
Stuff we'll review. And it's really good. Really good. But, and I've been impressed with those carts that we got.
Yeah.
But the flower on this one, dude, it's so strange because it's like really slow, like almost like this really slow tide coming in at night.
I guess, and this is just me, from what you had said where the other bud tender said this is really sedative or like a really good indica one, it feels nice. Don't get me wrong, it feels very nice. It's just like a light blanket kind of feeling that I'm like...
Yeah, right around my back and my shoulders. Yeah.
Very mild.
A little bit of pressure on my head, but just pressure, just like something's on it, like a hat.
Yeah, I could see that. Mine's, I feel it on the inside though.
Yeah, it's all on the inside.
Yeah.
It's like right around all that fluid in my brain.
Yeah. I feel it down through my face though, my chin.
Very low.
Very mild.
Yeah, so it's very mild sitting here, which is kind of funny. I mean, and here's the thing too, though. With many strains that you are trying and smoking, somebody may tell you, look, this thing hits hard as shit and it's going to knock you on your ass. It's going to really knock your dick in the dirt. But I got to tell you that sometimes it doesn't hit you all at once. And it can take time to kick in. So when you're like, this shit is weak, and then it could be 15, 20 minutes later and you'd be like...
Even 30. So just...
Whoa.
Yeah.
And this one it's just so slow. I mean, I've taken... probably 6, 7 hits now. And you can go back and watch the video going, Jess, you're wrong. It was only 5. But either way, that's a lot of hits to get enough in you. And they weren't tiny ones either. Like I took some good hits and it's still really mild. The flavor is nice.
It's a very sweet, like fruity notes.
Yeah. But it's a very it's a light smoke. Some of the smokes, like I heard about, was it purple milk?
Okay.
That one is a very creamy.
This one's supposed to be a candy and a creamy kind of flavors.
It's slightly creamy, but it's not like crazy, not crazy dry mouth. I got a little bit.
Well, thankfully, we've got this Lubricity.
Yeah, Lubricity, one of the best out there.
I think it's CSP 15. You can get 15% off of your order.
Yeah, if you're not on the East Coast, you can't just go over to a Walgreens, a CVS, or
pick one up. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be able. I mean, they even sell this shit in Walmart.
Do you think it's on Amazon?
I'm sure.
If so, check it out. Get it delivered to your door. I mean, everywhere delivers to your door.
Yeah, but if you can get that code and being able to give you just a little bit extra, why not? And this bottle will last you a long time.
So this one has minuscule amounts of CBDA, CBG, CBGA.
I've noticed they've been incorporating a lot more of that lately in their grow, and it's really nice. Like Magic, that's awesome. Yeah.
Well, same with what was the other one that we did? Grass Valley Girl was also a 5% CBG, and I was like, holy cow! I told the bud tender last time I went.
Me too.
I was like, Grass Valley Girl was high CBG as well, and she was like, what? Like, yeah, and she's like, well, I'm gonna have to try that one now because it's not one you think to try just because the name, like, it doesn't sound appealing. Right. But that's the other thing is not always are the names the ones that are most appealing.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. The names are only there to be kind of like just small cereal brands. I look at cannabis like you're looking at your cereal aisle. There's a lot of them there that are like, oh, that's tasty, that's good. Some make you feel like shit. Some make you feel pretty decent. Some make you feel really happy. So it's the way to look at it, but the name should never deter you from it.
No, look at the cannabinoids, the terpene profile, see what really works well for you. Like this one's most dominant terpene is limonene and linalool. So
I know.
If you find those are really well with you.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
It can be. For some other people, especially people who are more prone to getting what I call canna anxiety, right? When you have that, it's typically for people who are more indica-leaning individuals, don't like the upper of sativas.
So one of our audience members, she actually works here for Zion. And she helps grow like some of the cultivars and stuff. And I was talking to her the other day, and she.
Where the fuck was I going with that? Damn marijuana!
Yeah.
I kind of yelled there.
That's okay. Dang, I really wish I could remember where I was going with that. That's really bad. I didn't remember what we were talking prior to that.
So one thing I'm noticing about this strain is it starts to slow down the mind very slowly. Because I'm feeling it like right here now on the sides of my cheekbones, like high cheekbone. Weird. Never felt that before.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about before, where it's kind of like coating your brain. It's like a slow, like molasses.
But what's weird, I don't feel foggy.
No, not at all.
But it's like
I feel relaxed, but not foggy. And that's why I find a lot of relaxing strains make me foggy.
Yeah, there are quite a few that it's like, it feels like a blanket over your mind. You're like, hey, you guys.
But it's depending on what you're doing too. So like Banana Dolce, right? Banana Dolce number 10. That one, if you aren't doing anything, will knock you on your ass. It knocked me on my ass several times. I thought, that's a fluke. Nope. It was 100% for sure. And I liked it at the time, but not during the day. But if I'm doing something, I'm just focused. Banana Dolce just makes me go, I can turn a mundane task into just a something to do. It doesn't bug me.
I feel like that's very common with cannabis when I'm like, I've got to do the chores. When I've got to do chores or something else, and I'm like, yeah, it's a thing that I have to get done. Yeah, it might not be the most entertaining, engaging,
right.
But then you use a strain like that, takes the relaxation, you're like chill, you can go get those things done.
Yeah.
And just kind of get rid of the anxiousness or any stress or shit going on in your mind.
Yeah, so, that's what I like about it, because I don't want to necessarily I don't want to be super sedated, but I don't want to be too high, like upper. there's got to be that even balance when I'm trying to do things. Sometimes, like at night, remember those days where we would do late night video games?
Oh, yeah.
And we would be fucking smoking all night.
Yep.
Do you remember some of those days, like way back in the day, where we go to my house and we go downstairs and we're like just puffing on these pens, like nonstop playing video games or watching something, and my dog Scout would come down there and we get her high.
That's
and
been a long time.
It was a long time ago, dude. Like I was just like, I remember that where we would just puff forever. And sometimes that's why carts sometimes can be a bad thing, but that also can be a pretty decent thing because I don't want to have to go outside all the time. I don't like smoking in my house.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not a fan of that.
You have a whole army of children too. If you had a whole week of time that you didn't have anyone at home and you could air it out, maybe that would be different.
Staying in an Airbnb that was completely friendly to that.
Then you're like, okay, cool. It's not the same as like, hey, my home is always going to smell like that. Because there's tons of times that you're like, yeah, I might love the smell, but I don't want my home to smell like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be wearing a cologne that smells like cannabis. Look, not anytime soon. There are people though that really, really like that smell.
I think depending on the strain, I could. It just really depends on the type of strain of.
I appreciate the smell because it's kind of like with Joe. Remember when we talked to Joe a long time ago? Like a year ago. Yeah. Over a year ago.
Probably.
2 years.
Joe is a long time.
Yeah. Joe, I mean, like, the nose knows. And so when you smell that cannabis, if it's not really like calling out to you, you're like, oh, because like cheetah piss, like that makes me question things. Like, why do I like piss so much?
The name or the smell?
I like the ammonia smell in there with
really
the weed.
Interesting, yeah.
It's super ammonia.
But like...
Same with cat piss. I've heard cat piss is very ammonia smelling. As they start to delineate down the road, like, unicorn piss and all
Pirate
these other...
piss and like other random ones.
They're all right. I mean, the unicorn piss was good, but it's not cheetah piss. And see, even me talking like that makes me sound like I'm some specialized animal doctor. Like, bring over the cheetah piss. I'll try that out.
Well, it's like whatever mushroom they ingest after the deer had eaten it, because then the urine of the deer was safe to process.
Right.
What? How do you find that out? Like, I'm just going to drink that deer's urine and see what happens.
Oh, it tastes awful. No. Don't worry about the taste.
Just wait for the experience.
Tell us the effects. He's tripping balls. It's like those reindeer.
Maybe that's where the story of Santa Claus came from.
Well, actually, that is actually what you talk about that, because these reindeer used to eat a muscaria. What's that?
Amanita muscaria?
Yes.
Is that the red and white ones?
Yes.
Maybe?
That's the Santa Claus colors. So they used to eat those to get high. It's like what dolphins do with blowfish. Yeah. Because
there's tons of them that do that. Tons of animals.
Oh, they get high.
Get high off of all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah. They're just like, dude, this is great. Like, you imagine, that's your life. It's just to eat shit, climb up fucking trees, stare at people,
right?
Maybe throw your shit.
Get a little high. And
you get high, and you're just like nobody's pressing on you to get shit done. Like, nobody's talking to the monkey going, dude, before you get high, remember, you need to do all this shit. He's just like, it's 3:00 and I'm getting high. All right. Yeah.
Plus, I'm going to eat a banana or do whatever else. Yeah, fuck it.
I could see if you're not fully, if you're tired, this would help.
Yeah.
It could help with insomnia. I'm not saying it will. If that is one of the traits, but definitely for pain relief, I could feel that.
It's used for long-lasting relaxation. I feel like if you're tired, it could probably help you fall asleep.
This is an after-work strain.
Oh yeah.
You just pulled your second shift, and it was supposed to be your day off at Walmart, and you're like, what the fuck?
Or the hospital or anywhere.
Yeah, you work at 7-Eleven or some other convenience store.
Man.
Come and go.
Yep. Come and go.
That's hilarious. That's the worst.
You're like, I just want you to stop coming. It's supposed to be my day off.
But you think about that, like you get done with an extra thing, like Brandon did. So his dad asked him for help, and they went and did this shit at 1:00 in the morning till 4 a.m. This motherfucker drinks some coffee at 1 a.m. it's a good idea.
Well, how else would I be awake? Like, I
You just wake up. It's war.
Yeah, I can't do that shit.
I can.
I'm so tired.
I'm not happy, but I can. But yeah, dude, you were dead.
Oh, yeah. And then I don't nap well either. So it was like most of the day of like trying to be up while like falling on my face. But like, yeah, it was a weird day.
And that's the thing too. I was just thinking about it like today, like we didn't get to our recording time because I needed to take my son to summer school. And I got home and I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to rest for a little longer. Why not? And I woke up and I felt like absolute utter shit.
Oh, man.
For me, it doesn't matter if I get 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. Once I'm awake, I need to stay awake.
I feel like that's me.
I got to keep moving.
I can't take a nap. And the only time
feel worse.
My mind doesn't shut off. I can lay down and close my eyes, but my mind won't shut off.
Yeah,
because it's like it's daytime and I'm like, I can't, like I'm not getting anything. Yeah. So it doesn't benefit me to try and nap. So I'm like, once I'm up, I feel like I'm up and that's it.
Yeah. And this is not a strain to get shit done.
It's a good chatty, like this is
relaxing.
It's a happy, but not like giggly strain. It's just
it's not overwhelming. It's not like a super strong high.
This was a great recommendation.
Yeah, I like it a lot. This is good, but again, this is like barbecue time. This is like hanging out with the fam at the park with the grill and
perfect weekend chill hangout.
Oh man, this would be awesome. Like if you're at a park and you're doing that, I'm just thinking about eating watermelon right now. That shit sounds good.
That does sound tasty. Maybe it's a little bit of cottonmouth, but like, yeah, that does sound really good.
This is a strain where you could really enjoy food. Because not all strains do I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm super hungry. I'm
not at all. I'm not super munchy, but like it does sound like watermelon.
Yeah. Like they had these, I'll have to figure out who has these edibles, but they're sour watermelon edibles. I'm like,
what? That sounds tasty.
That sounds really tasty.
I'm just imagining like the Sour Patch watermelon things, but
I need to do that again.
In an edible.
I need to get an edible high again because it's been a long time. It's been a long time for me. I just haven't enjoyed it as much. I think it's the ritual of smoking. What do you guys think? I really enjoy that few minutes, if that, to go out, smoke a bowl, and just feel great after.
I did too. Like you said, especially the ritualistic part. I notice that when I go outside to smoke a bowl, I am way more usually just sitting there watching the trees, watching the leaves.
Yeah, taking it in.
Yeah, being there. Versus sometimes if I'm using a pen or doing something else, it's like I'm using it because of the moment, like I'm hurting, whatever, but I'm still doing everything else.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the intent of like, hey, I'm going to take this minute to go step outside, take this puff, this whatever, and just be here for a minute.
Yeah, just for a minute.
We step outside for a minute all the time. We step away to stare at our phone for a minute all the time.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it to step away and just be there for the intent for that minute?
I think it's more hard these days because we allow ourselves to do it. It's just an allowance because I was talking to my boy about this. Like when I was his age, like I keep wanting my kids to live the life that I had. Like it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best. It was just what it was supposed to be. But now I just feel like they get robbed.
Because the life that we see them living is way different than anything we lived.
Yeah, but we're doing the same thing though. We're on our fucking phones all the time.
Yeah.
And we're constantly doing that. You know, it's a great reflection that you had there where if you have that time, like it's good to step outside. It's good to step outside and connect. And you know, when you light your bowl or you fire up your vaporizer, like I won't vaporize in my house. Like I'll vape in my house.
Yeah,
I'll do
like
a
the cartridges.
Yeah. And you'll smell it for a second, but that's it. But it's still not the same. Like that's like travel weed.
Right.
Right. You're at it's like getting the food at the
It's
village.
like fast food on the. You're like, oh, I'm on a road trip. I'm getting fast food or something instead of
Well,
anything else.
It's like getting a Best Western breakfast, right? At one of those like those little hotels where they have like the big thing for the families, right? The beds fucking suck. Everything sucks. The pool's tiny. But the breakfast in the morning, you got the waffles and you pour in the batter and they've got eggs and sausages. It's the same damn thing for like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And yet it's not bad, but it's not great. And that's the way I look at carts. But when you go out and you have some flour and you just, like what you stated, like I was there with you while you were talking about that. I was just like, yeah, me, it's like poking out the back of my garage door with it cracked open. And you know what I end up doing? Following the smoke when I blow it out them all.
Oh, yeah.
I just watch it. How long does it take to dissipate? If I get a big cloud, I'm like, all right, there you go. Like, there's accomplishment.
But it's the things of like, it's stupid little things, and we're not always present for the moments.
No.
And but that's what our kids were when before all of this stupid technology stuff, all the kids were, that's why our lives are so different.
Yeah.
We didn't grow up sitting in front of a screen.
It's a strange world, man, and it's getting even stranger. But I got to tell you that I'm glad that we're seeing such a resurgence of plant medicines being used more often. Like I was telling you, like I had a beer.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Like 6 years since I've had a beer, any alcohol, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have one with my dinner.
Yeah.
Why not? I had one Hefeweizen. Tasty. Love that. And,
How did you feel?
I didn't like it. I didn't like the way I felt. I felt like a little sloshy, but it wasn't like fun. It wasn't fun anymore. I remember younger, I would get drunk and I was like, this is awesome. I feel great. But if I would have been smoking weed, I would have been like, this is awesome. I'm never doing anything else. Because I was with my wife and I said, I prefer weed.
Yeah.
It's just not that great. I don't like getting I couldn't imagine being crossfaded nowadays. It would really probably fuck my day up.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
No, crossfading is horrible.
Yeah.
That's where I've had some of the worst experiences was like either accidental crossfades or like thinking that I was
usually
okay.
accidental.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
But this is so much better, man. Like, my wife even made a comment. She was like, what's great about this is that you don't get a hangover. She's like, and you don't feel like shit. And you really do. I mean, I have a close friend of mine. He had aneurysm in Hawaii. He was swimming, exerted himself, got to the shore, collapsed. Like the fact that he even got to shore.
Yeah.
And he was probably getting signs and symptoms while he was swimming in. And he was in a coma. And then they had to cut a piece of his skull out to relieve the pressure on his brain to where the artery would had hemorrhaged. And they fixed it, but they have to leave the bone out for months. So the rest of it can like get all baby soft head.
Yeah.
Ooh. And they told him like no smoking nicotine and no alcohol. If you do that, we will not put that original piece of your skull back in there because it will screw up the healing process of the bone. So we can't allow you to do that. This guy's a hardcore alcoholic and he's been smoking cigarettes since I've known him.
Oh, man.
And Danny and I have been friends since I was 15. And so like one of the only people I still talk to from back then. And now he's got 12 to 18 months to being able to do basic math.
Dude, that's huge. And you were saying like...
Got to learn how to walk, all this shit.
How is he doing with that? I mean, that's a massive change to go from drinking and smoking and then not being able to do any of that, period.
Right.
That's, I don't know.
And he's got a job where he can't smoke weed. And that's not right. If you're an over-the-road driver, that's not going to be the thing that we need to be thinking about. We need to be able to have you where you can go, look, I'm going to use something that's going to chill me out, help with pain, relieve my anxiety, make me feel happier about being stuck in a box.
Yeah. Well, even I have another friend who he can't have it supposedly because the company he works for doesn't allow it. He's in construction. And I'm like, that's fine. Don't use it when you're at work. But like after work, how many blue collar people could benefit from the rest and relaxation and recovery that can come from cannabis?
Yeah. I met a guy, he delivers like they're like like backhoe type things, like huge excavators, stuff like that. He sells them and then he delivers them. So he rides the truck to there. And because he has a CDL, he can't have cannabis.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Motherfucker can get perks, anything else he wants for the back pain that he has, which he doesn't do. But he now can't use cannabis because he could lose his job, which is ridiculous. Yeah. Even with all the changes that are happening, which are slow to take effect, but they will happen. You know, I would be surprised if they continued to keep those kind of things because it's ridiculous.
I hope more companies get with the program because realizing that it's a medicine and, you know, the benefits that it does have, it's kind of ridiculous to be stuck in that mindset.
Yeah. It's
even on our federal level of like all these federal employees aren't allowed to utilize it. Well, and it's like, you know, there shouldn't be any reason why they can't.
It's just perception of bad. It's like when our previous episode, like, honestly, I just met a guy, he helps out with veterans. And, you know, usual hoo-ha-rah, talking about fun stuff. And then he goes, what do you do? And I said, I smoke pot for a living. And no laughter. This is the only time I've ever said that where I didn't get laughter. And he was just stone cold. And I'm like, well, let me tell you why. And I went into the serious portion of it. And he goes, oh, that's cool. He's like, you know, that helps a lot of veterans. And this guy has like a massive platform across the U.S. to help veterans start up businesses. And I was like, that's cool. But it was just kind of funny because the interaction I got with him was just like, that's not okay. You're throwing your life away, friend. Throw my life away. I'm enhancing my life.
That's funny.
Being a human sometimes harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, especially in this day and age.
Probably wouldn't smoke as much weed if we lived out on the land.
Probably not, because I feel like so much of our stress and anxiety comes from the world and the life that we live in.
Yeah, these concrete jungles.
Stepping outside of that, when you go camping for like a week and you're out, it becomes a disconnect from all of this other shit and it kind of dissolves.
Well, and I get a focus on when I use I like to use tinctures when I'm camping. And that's probably what I need to do this next time, like get edibles or some tinctures. And then when I go out camping, I can just enjoy the time.
I mean that and bringing your vaporizer because the flower experience in nature is really nice too.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's one of the best.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this is a really good strain. I like it. Check it out. Here in Utah, go to Dragonfly.
White Runtz, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, tell them we sent you. I mean, it's not going to get you a discount. I mean, you never know. Yeah. But, you know, let them know about that. Let them know you heard about it on the show. And if you got a dispensary near you, because I looked about it and it's everywhere. So give it a shot. Not super sedative.
No, it's not terrible.
As I was
it's just
expecting.
Nice and very nice and relaxing.
Very nice.
Great time.
It's not. You could go do something. You could go for a drive if you needed to right now. Totally fine.
Yeah. At this point, it's dissipated, but like it was a super nice experience.
No, it was great. All right, guys. Thanks again.
Catch you next week.